Hi, welcome to iSupporta. My name is George, and normally in this podcast or vidcast, we spend time talking about how our employees help you do your job. We spend time with strategies and ideas, but sometimes we also want to talk to our employees and potential employees and just to help raise the bar, raise the standard for everyone to have a better quality product. So one of the things that have come up is some pet peeves that employees have about the bosses. And we, of course, are the middle people that deal with some of our employees and what they deal with their bosses and trying to mitigate that. Sometimes it could be employee fault, the boss fault, the process fault, but whatever it is, we try and solve that. Sometimes also we have complaints from our clients that deal with our employees. So we try to also mitigate that. Of course, we try and raise the bar in our standards and the people that we hire as to what we get. And that really helps. We hire only educated, college level people that have a sense of maturity, and that comes with age as well. People are different. When they're 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, they do develop some kind of quality and values. For getting a good job is not easy. Anybody can get a job, but a good one is tough. One of the things we want to provide here at iSupporta is a nice, stable platform for everyone to create and be happy with where they go into. We raise the bar on our end, and we expect people to raise the bar on their end. If you saw some of our other videos with the quality of the offices we have and our standards, you will see for yourself. So in this video, I do want to focus on some of the pet peeves from employers to employees. Number one, by a long shot, is tardiness. And this is one, before I did my research, asking our clients and just doing the research online, I thought for myself, my own personal ventures, I find that very much a problem when I show up at a prescribed time. Doesn't matter what we agree to, if we say 8 or 7 or 9 in the morning, we want to be there. We hear excuses all the time. Of course, there was traffic or there was something happened at home. And of course, we all understand that. But if it's consistent, then we know it's just that person. And I will admit, I have been guilty of that too in my immature, young adult life. I think if I can be introspective, I think I underestimated the time that I would need to get ready. So I would think my shower or my drive or my walking out the door time is always less than what it actually was. I have since then heard that when someone says a time, 9 o'clock, it usually means 8:55 to be ready and walking around there and finding the person. So at 9 o'clock, you're already meeting. And that's a really nice professional way of putting yourself forward. If you talk to your employers or your clients and you mention that right away, it's going to be a positive bell. Just you tell a more mature or responsible person that you are also responsible with time and it's important to you, it's going to be an instant connection. And I'm sure that will help you. Even if you're not, I would at least say that, at least trying to put your mind around that so you start thinking that way. And it really gives a professional, mature viewpoint of you. And it will also come time when you do want to raise, you say, hey boss, have I ever been late for you? Have I ever ruined your time? And if the answer is no, you can ask for more. So I'm not trying to say that to help out, but I'm trying to get you an idea of how people perceive you. So moving on, number two, laziness. That kind of does tie in to number one of tardiness, but laziness is when you have an employee that you're constantly dragging. One of the problems is as an employer is you have a task that you can't do yourself. So you end up finding somebody else to help you. That's what we do. That's what we provide at iSupporta. And it is obviously a need because of all the BPOs that are out there and all the employees. Some person has a task that they don't have time for. So they're hiring you to do that. If that person who's doing the hiring spends more time getting you to do those things, then it's not a really positive for them. It's a negative. They think, hey, I'm providing some money for this person, and it's usually their money if they're the boss. It's their income or wherever they get the money, and they're giving it to you, and then also they're giving their time, which is probably more valuable than their original, the money itself. And if you are a person that always needs that attention from the employer, or constantly need re-explaining, that gets very frustrating. And that's a pet peeve where somebody's already trained someone, they're already on board, they feel guilty about firing, or they don't have the time to fire and retrain someone else, but it leaves a bad taste. And again, when that time comes for a salary increase or a movement increase or responsibility increase, that thought comes to that employer's mind, they barely can do the job they can do now, why would I hire them to the next one? And if you can kind of relate that to yourself as an employee, if you have people in your life that you count on, with whatever, if it's your family members or friends and you expect them to do something or you tell them to do something and they don't do it, it frustrates you. Imagine if you were giving them money to do that. Also something valuable to you, which whatever that is, if it's time or emotion or finances. So that's a big part. And those two kind of are related. Number three, bringing in politics into the office. Now, that is going to be kind of connects with all of these at a maturity level, but politics is something that people that are very mature can bring into offices. And sometimes that is a good way of talking about things if you can do it respectfully and understanding, and it's just a nice conversation. That's great. But as we know, especially lately in the current climate, people get really offended when somebody has a different viewpoint than they are. So we want to keep that out of the office because this is a professional place to do a job. It is not a place to be for only socializing or to bring in your personal beliefs. Wrong or right, it is irrelevant because this is not a place for conflict. That is not what we are putting resources in to spend time with someone as they think about, if the earth is flat or round, or if they're red or blue, or up and down. It's really not that point. If you want to do that on your own with your friends, that's great. It's good to discuss those kind of things, but not in the office because most of those things take a long time and we risk not just offending someone, but just getting somebody else distracted. And then the reason we're here, the work that needs to be done doesn't get done. And we talk about something that's endlessly not even an issue. It's an opinion versus another opinion. We really don't like to bring in any form of politics into the office. Number four relates to all of these. Actually, I should probably put this as number one, but it's maturity. It is fun to have a childish glee and happiness about you, but we do want a mature person who understands why they're here, why they've been selected out of the others, and we do have a pretty tight screening process. If you're here to do a job, then you're here for doing that job. You are not here to socialize or to spend time with your friends or bring in some drama or not show up because you're doing something else. You are here for a job, and that's going to be anywhere in the world. People want that maturity of who, if you're being asked an opinion or asked to add something, a mature person can calmly put their thoughts in and create a sense of calmness for everyone to solve a problem. It is what we do in business. We solve problems. We provide solutions for people. So if you can help in that, that is a mature, wanted quality. And you want that also in your personal life. So something that you do at work that we want is people are going to want that from you too. If you're out with your friends and there's a problem, you want somebody who helps, who doesn't create issues. And like I said, this all does tie together. This brings in dramatic. This is kind of on the least, and it doesn't happen too often. Employees in general, they get dramatic. They feel their personal relationships or their personal thoughts or they bring their heart into the office. And again, that is not a place for it. If you have a problem with your significant other, people all around the world have that problem, but we don't want to bring that in and wear your heart on your sleeve inside the office. It won't help anyone. And it's something that you can kind of talk about. It's something that is never ending. It can go on forever and you won't get your job done. So what will happen eventually is you'll be reprimanded and probably let go. And that's not something that we want to see for anyone. We want to keep you as long as possible and have you on the team together in a cohesive environment. So these things, I think if you avoid those and if you actually even state those things that you are not or you are or you believe in, it will show a positive sign if you're your next interview, also keep you a long term at your job. So thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again with some of our other insights that we have with employees and employers, our clients, and how we do business here. We also welcome you to make any suggestions, any ways of how we can improve. We're always looking, we're always striving to become a better company and a better group of employees and employers that want to get the job done. So thank you for your time and have a good night.